day 3, and we're gonna try today to take last night's learnings to heart a little bit. It's still late morning, we're doing some scouting, and there's 3 areas that we're just gonna go in, we're gonna check them again, and push it a little bit deeper and just see what we can find, again, for fresh sign. We know for sure that spot we sat on day 1, there's the opportunity to go into there and hunt that again if we want to, but we're seeing what else we have for opportunities. We got that same northwest wind direction. It's really windy today, 25 mile an hour, gusting to like mid 40s. Because we checked this whole edge, so they're not crossing there very much. Right. So the only thing to check now is could they be going east-west to get to whatever's over here. I'd say if we don't see anything by like here, like another 100 yards, we'll just go back out. Yeah. All right, so that first spot we checked out, just really nothing too impressive about it at all. There were some bur oaks back there, none of which looked like they had a lot of acorns. Really no indication that the deer were heavily traveling from that swamp back there to some of those private ag fields. So we did a little loop, we got back out, and now we're in spot number 2. This place has got a lot of fresh deer sign in it, coming from multiple different directions around that pond that we just checked. I feel like if we sit back in here, there's a good chance we could see deer, depending on if the wind screws them up or not. They could likely come from a lot of different places, so the trick would be, do you sit overlooking the pond and hopefully collect that movement, or do you play that they're going to stay a little bit more tucked in to the cover with that wind and just pick a trail? Shane and I did scout this, and we did pick out some good trees that are a little bit deeper in here that I think would work. This spot is definitely way better than the first spot we checked. So we'll check the 3rd spot. I think I've seen what we need to see here. It's still probably around noon. All right, so we just pushed back a little bit deeper into this spot that we scouted on the first day, and we got a heavy trail along this little ditch-like corridor where it's really thick. We got like CRP grass on one side, and then it's that real thick lowland on the other. We got a trail coming right down this edge that heads toward the direction of that private. And it looks like they got crops on that private that the deer could be headed to. And it looks like it's fresh deer sign, which I have to see if there's any big buck sign too, or if it's just kind of general deer movement. We know there's a lot of does in this particular area because we sat here that one morning and saw a few other does. A couple of other guys in the group hunted here and they saw does and fawns as well. So we'll push a little bit further in here. Yeah, another little rub. Another trail that comes right down through there. There's a good mixture of trails right in this little pocket. I wish we would have come in from this way instead of that way, because now we got our scent over that stuff. Let's go a little bit further this way and then cut up through. But this is not a bad looking area. We saw a good deer sign in 2 of the spots that we hit today, and then we know that there's that spot that we hit on the first day that of course has deer confirmed in it. So we'll go back and we'll make up our mind, talk about it, and then make a game plan for the afternoon. So we got set up in here. There's a decent amount of deer traveling through here. It's a nice little pinch on the outside of a river bend, and it's a little bit more open here. You can see where those deer were bedded just a little bit ago in some of this marsh grass, and I can almost see clear to where the river is. And then on the other side of us, there's that open grass where those deer were coming out the other day, and I think they were likely coming out pretty darn close to where we're set up in these woods. It is really howling. My tree's waving all over the place. Sam's tree is a little bit bigger than mine, so she should be a little bit more stable.
So it's day 3, and we're here in North Dakota. We got back into this area that we had sat at our first night. First night that we sat here, we saw 3 bucks come through, and then like 3 or 4 does too. We have the same wind tonight as we did that first night. Last night we had a different wind, so we decided to come back in here. On the way in, we jumped a doe and a decent buck, but didn't have a shot opportunity at him. All we could see really was his head and his rack over the grass. We'll see how tonight goes. There's a pretty heavy trail out in front of us that we think are what the deer are using. We think is the trail that they came out on the first night that we saw them. So, see how it goes. Did you see the shot? Did it look good? Bad? High?
I couldn't really tell. Looking through the viewfinder.
That was like...
What'd you think?
I thought it was good, but from what I could tell, I thought. But
Okay, you probably saw it better, I think. That happened so fast.
I know. I was like, what the... That was like perfect though. Like,
that was a perfect shot angle for you.
Yeah, perfect. Literally perfect. Like, I'm happy. Very, very happy.
Was she looking at you at all?
She started, well, she was looking straight, and then she started looking that way.
Okay.
And as soon as she started looking that way, is when I drew back.
Because I couldn't see her head, I could just see her body.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like, literally perfect.
Well, I'm gonna look at the shot on the camera.
Okay.
So all I saw was the blade knock fall off. But yeah, if the shot looks good.
When you saw the knock, what did? Well, yeah, I'll just have you look at it.
Yeah.
See.
But as windy as it is, we had a doe walk right up on us, and we didn't really see it until it was like probably 10 yards away behind both of us. We looked at the footage, and it looks like it's definitely close to being too high, the thing that's helping us is that the angle was pretty good going down. I mean, 10-yard shot, and we're probably 15 feet up, platform height. So we have that going for us, which means the arrow exited lower. It's been about 30 minutes.
We just got down from the tree, so we're gonna go look at the arrow and see how it looks, and then we're gonna look and see if we can find the deer. There's the knock. The fob, and then the arrow.
See how bright red that looks? Mm-hmm. That looks like lung blood.
There's bright red here too.
Bright red.
So Shane usually sticks his arrow right here at starting point, right?
Yeah, you can do that, and I would put your fob on the top because it's got that lighted knock.
Yeah.
25-inch draw, 41 pounds. Arrow stuck probably 6 inches into the dirt after the pass through, including the head.
Right here. Right here and right here.
See this trail? It's likely that you stay on this trail.
Yeah. It's right there.
Yep. I mean, that's thicker than this. I don't think she could have gotten through that. I think she could have gotten through this.
Oh, there she is. There she is. She did.
She really tucked her in.
I know. She got in there good.
We're in the thickest of thick.
Yeah, she tucked in.
Congrats.
Thanks. I'm glad we found her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she died.
Yeah.
She must have gotten the top of the lungs, or at least one lung.
You got both, I'm pretty sure, after looking at the shot and the angle again.
I hope so.
Because if you get
whatever I did get is obviously enough to kill her.
right,
So
under the spine is pretty much going to be a 2 lung.
All right.
All right, Sam. So this is your first deer. The first thing you need to do at this step, tag,
Oh.
and then we can get the knife out.
Holy crap. This is a lot of work.
I think that doe is bigger than you are.
Dang. My heart's pounding.
We got the Amsteel attachment rope tied around the head and the front legs, and we're going to attempt to use the stick as a handle, 2 people, and drag this deer out. Easy. So it seems like with all this grass, it works much better if you wrap the Amsteel around a couple times. Then when you actually pull, you can get a little bit of lift. And you could have 2 people, 1 hand on each, and that should work. Perfect shot.
It was,
How far, Sam?
both ones, huh?
How far was she?
Like 10 yards?
Good shot. Cheers, awesome.
Looks like you guys were covered up in deer tonight.
Yeah. There's, we jumped a doe and a buck on the way in. The buck was nice.
Yeah.
And right after I shot the doe, then a buck came out. He was like nice, you know?
He was outside the ears by a couple inches probably.
Yeah. And he like, I don't know, he's just kind of like walking around and by his law. And the deer started walking. And all of a sudden, this thing just flew up and started like running, and I like screamed like really loud. I didn't know what it was.